Well, the good news is I have a call with Shola this week as well, so I can't wait.
We're
But
locked in.
Shola, so I want to get you fired up here.
Let's do
Um,
it.
so I love everything you talk about, obviously, with the work I do as well. But one of the challenges that I have found um, in this idea of being civil is I believe that there's a baseline to this thing. Like, is there some sort of baseline truth or understanding in right and wrong or reasonability that we all have to be able to agree on in order to build from? So, for example, because it's timely, um, I have people in my life that I know that believe that what happened on January 6th, last 4 years ago, was actually an organized tour and there was no violence. And so I don't see it that way. Um, but in this, that take politics out of it. Like if I
Mhm.
watch the footage, I see what I see, regardless of party. I'm an independent. I'm registered independent voter. They don't see it that way. They see it as organized and civil. And so for me, I find if we can't see something that is, in my opinion, either black or white, it's either one way or the other. Like there's no gray area here. How do we then build upon that? Or where do we go from there in terms of trying to build relationship and civility and community and civilization, right? In a way that if we can't even agree on these basic, obvious, in my opinion, truths.
Oh God, what a great question. And it's so bumming that we gotta like end on this. Well, I hopefully we'll have more time to do this, but I'm gonna do my best to nail this in 6 minutes. So a couple of things. I often joke, it's not really a joke, when I talk to people around this, is like, hey, I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. So when we don't share the same set of facts of like where I'm like 2 + 2 = 4, and they're like 2 + 2 = Tuesday, right?
Right.
So how are you going to be able to navigate around that?
Yep.
Well, there's a couple of things. I actually dedicated a chapter of my book to this. So, because I think it's so important. I'm not saying, Matt, that this is where some of your family members are, but I'm just going to use this as a general example to illustrate the point. So, when people become radicalized and they've like lost their ability to see reality, objective reality, right? That's easily proven through videos and things of that nature. We have to use a strategy that's very uncomfortable for many people. So I often say that most bad behavior is an unskilled expression of an unmet need. This is a little deep, so stick with me on this, right? Most bad behavior is an unskilled expression of an unmet need. So anyone who, and I'm just no problem sharing this with you. I share the exact same opinion with you about January 6th. So the idea that that's a peaceful tour is wild when police officers died. 100 plus were injured, police officers specifically. So, and not to mention others. So the idea that it was peaceful doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If I were to go to the person who thought it was a tour, like, are you freaking kidding me? Here's some video clips. Watch these video clips and tell me afterward. I can promise you, back to the boomerang effect, that will not work. So instead, and this is hard, and this is why very few people do it, but we're outliers, right? We do things that most other people don't do, is what I call radical civility. This is really hard. You sit with someone and they're like, yeah, so you mentioned that was like a tour. Like, help me understand, like, I just want to understand how did you come to that opinion? Or if you want to go even deeper, a question that I love to ask, and you feel free to ask them next time you see them, is, well, how do you know that? Like, how did you come to that? I just want to understand how do you know that? Well, my favorite 8 p.m. anchor on my favorite news station said so. Well, that doesn't work, right? So it's like, how do you know that is such a powerful question, because it allows them to go back and hopefully re-examine their critical thinking or lack thereof. I talk specifically in this book about critical thinking, the ability to examine information with logic, go a little bit deeper than what you see on the surface. And you should ask them, like, hey, how do you know that? Just we're trying to understand, like, you said that. Well, I saw this video and people were walking. Where did you see the video from? Or if you were presented, is there anything that I could share with you that may allow you to see maybe a different side to this? Instead of saying that you're wrong, because then you're shutting it down, right? It's like, can I show you something that maybe will could possibly show another side to this because I see what you're saying, but at the same time, there's more information that I'd like to share with you. Are you interested in seeing it? No. Then you're not dealing with someone in good faith, right? But the ones who may have this idea around the world that we live in, because AI sure as heck isn't helping making things easier, right? In terms of misinformation and disinformation. So I give a whole chapter on misinformation and disinformation, how to combat it. And like, I know we're short on time, but Matt, we got some time together, so we can go deeper on that, brother, when we talk. But I want to tell you for sure, just from a basic perspective, ask them how you know that, and then offer, are you open to the idea of seeing information that may run counter to what it is that you believe? Instead of them being like, whoa, just showing it to them without them asking,